gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop out and stainless steel. Go hard, getting busy with it. But I got such a good heart that I make the motherfucker wonder if you did it. Damn right, and I do it again.
Hey, what's up DWW fans? Rick Pete, your DWW TV Champion, back with a new video for you. This may be a bit of a long video, so I apologise in advance. Basically what it is, rather than do 2 or 3 separate videos, I've decided to do it all in one video for you guys. So here is my WrestleMania 32 review, including the pre-show, and then I'm going to do a review of the post-WrestleMania Monday Night Raw. So without further ado, I'll get on with it. So the first match on the pre-show was Ryback versus Kalisto. In my prediction video, I predicted Ryback would win. I was wrong. Kalisto retained, although I do think that had this been on the actual main card, as opposed to the kickoff show, Ryback could well have won. I thought it was an average match, nothing special. Pretty much showcased the David versus Goliath storyline WWE were going for. I'm glad Kalisto retained. I'm enjoying him as United States Champion. So yeah, that's that match done. Total Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde. This match was as bad as I expected it to be. Paige and Natalya made it just about watchable. As I said in prediction video, Eva Marie has no place in a wrestling ring, let alone at a WrestleMania. The boos for her was so loud, powers that be cannot ignore them. Lana looked really good. Didn't do much in the ring, but she looked really good. So yeah, I have no doubt the Total Divas team are going to win, given it's a WWE show on the E! Network and a big sort of ratings show for them. So yeah, I predicted that one right. So I was 1 out of 2 on my predictions. Next up, Usos versus Dudleys. Decent match, and as I predicted, with an Uso victory. I noticed during this the King seems to have gone back to a heel commentary style thing. I've not been watching SmackDown for a long time, so whether this has been something he's been doing regular or not, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, Usos won as I predicted, so 2 out of 3 on my predictions. And their attempt to put the Usos through the tables after the match seriously backfired. To me, the kick-out show seemed a bit long and drawn out, so I found myself skipping to the actual matches. So yeah, that was the kick-off show, pretty average, nothing special, which was pretty much a sign of things to come, really. So here is WrestleMania 2, the actual event, reviewed. These are just my opinions, obviously. Everybody else will have their own opinions. First up was the IC ladder match. Seemed like an unusual choice of match to open WrestleMania, but given the rest of the card, I suppose it was the logical way to go. Great opening match. Main story to this was obviously Zayn and Owens' feud, and it played out quite well during the match. I predicted plenty of high spots. I didn't predict the winner correctly, however. I predicted either Zayn or Owens would come out as, either new champion or retain, and add fuel to their fire. I didn't see Zack Ryder winning at all. At the time, I was like just as gobsmacked, even though I didn't watch it live. I was as gobsmacked as everybody who was there in the crowd. I was well happy. Zack Ryder really does deserve a decent chance on the main roster. I mean, he's doing well down in NXT, but he really should be on the main roster, and he should be, up there, for a US title or, IC title shot. But, it's WWE and they're keeping him down for whatever reason. So yeah, win a new IC champion, but for how long? We'll find out. Zack Ryder. Next up was AJ Styles versus Y2J. It was a great match as I expected. I was annoyed that Jericho kicked out the Styles Clash, and I was even more annoyed that AJ lost. I didn't see the point of him losing at WrestleMania. It didn't make sense. His first Mania, you would have thought they'd have given him a win, given him some momentum coming into Monday Night Raw, etc. So yeah, I was fuming at the time. But having said that, I've watched Raw since, and upcoming is something that makes sense of why AJ lost. Next up was the New Booty versus League of Nations. I was expecting New Day to win, given the way things have gone so far. I did predict League of Nations to win, and it did, so that was nice. So I was 1 out of 3 of my predictions on this one. So yeah, it was nice to see the New Day take a beating. The thing that got me after this match, when Barrett made his speech about how they were the best three-man team ever, HBK came out with Foley, and then Austin went down to the ring and then consequently beat up the League of Nations. Made no sense, as they were never a three-man team that I remember. I know Austin tagged with HBK and tagged with Foley, but I don't remember them being a three-man team of any long-standing sort of thing to make sense for that to happen. Nice to see him, but to me, undermined the League of Nations victory. Then it was Ambrose versus Lesnar. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a fan of both guys, but I was pulling more for Ambrose. On my predictions video, I predicted Lesnar. I was hoping I'd be wrong, but I wasn't, and I kind of knew Lesnar would win. Ambrose put on a hell of a show. It wasn't as good as I hoped the match would be, but I did enjoy it. So, I suppose it did what it did. Ambrose is pretty limited what he can do with something like Brock Lesnar. There was the unveiling of the Women's Championship, which was an anticlimax, as I've created something very similar on my WWE game ages ago. Then we had the Divas match, Charlotte versus Becky versus Sasha, so the women's title match. I do apologise for that. Sasha's entrance to me gave the impression that she was walking out as champion. I was wrong. I predicted Sasha, and Charlotte retained. It was a great match, awesome match to be fair. I think it took a lot of people by surprise just how good of a match it was. It's a shame it was ruined with the shitty ending that it was. Sasha going in to break up the count and Ric Flair grabbing hold of her. To me, that just made Charlotte's win a hell of a lot less credible. Becky Lynch was amazing throughout that match. I think building up to the match, it was more about Sasha and Charlotte, and Becky was being somewhat overlooked. But I think, she put on an absolutely amazing show. All three of the women in that match put on an amazing show. And if this is the sign of things to come, then, I can only hope that the likes of Summer Rae and Eva Marie and Brie Bella are kept well away from the ring. Now, I hope Brie Bella does actually just disappear off into the distance with her sister and, leave the wrestling to the women who can wrestle. Your Charlottes, your Sashas, your Becky Lynch's, your Natalia's, your Paige's. Tamina can't wrestle. Given her family heritage is a bit of a shocker, but she's terrible in the ring. Naomi's not great. Emma's quite good. She put on a good showing in the kickoff show. But that's about it really on the main roster. I can't really think of anybody else. But you've got a few there that can actually wrestle. And then you've got a couple ready from, you've got Bayley ready from NXT to come up. Given the fact that she lost her women's title, she may get a call up to the main roster. Who knows? But I digress. So amazing match. Like I say, shitty ending. To me, Ric Flair ruined what was a great match. Shane versus Taker, Hell in a Cell. Great match. It's not often I want The Undertaker to lose. But I was pulling for Shane, I'll be honest. I think I predicted Shane would win, but I think I said it'd be due to outside interference. Again, I was wrong. Undertaker won. The thing that made this match is the thing that WrestleMania 32 will be remembered for, and that is Shane's leap off the top of the Hell in a Cell. Come SummerSlam time, if you ask anybody what they remember about WrestleMania, it will be Shane's jumping off the cell. Nothing else. They won't remember the main event. They probably won't remember the ladder match. They may remember the women's match. Ambrose versus Lesnar may get mentioned, but it will be remembered for Shane McMahon and his jump off the top of the cell. And for that, I have all the props in the world for Shane. I've always liked Shane McMahon. To me, he was there, and then what he did on Sunday, just boom, up there, just mental. So he lost, obviously, so that meant that the Authority stayed in charge. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, I really didn't give a damn about this. I wasn't interested with anything to do with it because nothing ever happens with the winner. Cesaro won the first one, nothing happened, he didn't get any push. Big Show won the second one, he just floated around the mid-card, switching weekly between face and heel. So I didn't see whoever won it getting anything significant happening career-wise. I was surprised that Baron Corbin won. I was quite happy that Baron Corbin won. It was nice to see somebody from NXT get like a big victory on the main roster. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if it means anything for Baron Corbin. I would also like to point out after the segment with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, I'm not a fan of American football, but I may become a Dallas Cowboys fan. Those cheerleaders were amazing. Just hope my girlfriend doesn't see this. Then obviously we had The Rock making his appearance with a flamethrower. That's got to be some sort of ludicrous Vince McMahon idea. You know, oh, we'll give Rock a flamethrower and he can set his name on fire and then come out and tell the people how, you know, we've broken attendance record, etc. Made no sense, really. I was expecting him to make his appearance before the main event, given the fact that he's related to Roman Reigns. But it wasn't to be. He came out and, you know, had a little bit of shtick on the microphone. And just as I was looking forward to the fact that Mania had been Bray Wyatt free, lo and behold, he turns up, starts running his mouth, usual boring Wyatt crap. We have an impromptu match. Rock beats Eric Rowan in 6 seconds. That's right, 6 seconds. Now, Eric Rowan, who had been built up as a monster in the Wyatt family, then knocked down a peg or two, or, you know, as it were, when Braun Strowman debuted, got beat in 6 seconds by The Rock. Now, that made no sense to me. I mean, I enjoyed watching The Rock, you know, I'm not going to say wrestle, because I think there's about 3-4 moves in it, if that, 6 seconds long, like I said. I only wish it had been Bray that he would have beaten 6 seconds. Cena makes an appearance to help The Rock see off the remaining members of the Wyatt family. Wasn't expecting that. Nice to see Bray Wyatt get his ass kicked, though. I used to be a massive fan of Bray Wyatt, and I hate what they've done with him. And the thing is, I don't know, it just seems to have ruined the character. It's not just the booking. He seems to have made out like he's some sort of monster eater of worlds and all this crap, new face of fear, but yet he lost to Undertaker at WrestleMania. How can you call yourself the new face of fear? It's just doesn't make sense. You know, I want him to do something with Bray Wyatt, make him fresh, get rid of the Wyatt family, split them all up, do something different with him. Let him have a bit more input on his own stuff. Because I'm not sure how much input he gets, because, you know, I mean, some of it you can see like he seems to be doing it naturally, but some of it just seems forced and unnatural. I mean, the guy, like The Rock said, the guy's got it all. He's got the charisma, he's got the moves, he's got the ability. You know, it's just a shame that nothing's been done with him. I'm hoping that WWE could possibly change that, and, you know, I could become a Bray Wyatt fan again, but I'm doubting it. That leads to Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight title. This has got to be the most unexciting, if that's even a word, main event ever. Everybody knew the outcome. I wasn't expecting much. Triple H's entrance went on forever. To me, it wasn't even overly impressive. It was just Stephanie screeching down a microphone and then Triple H walking down to the ring with a belt. You know, it seemed more like it was about Stephanie than it was about Triple H. Reigns' entrance was a lot less elaborate. He came out, he punched the floor, and a load of fireworks went off, and then some went off outside the arena, which must have been really annoying for those living by, but I would imagine they'll have been expecting it. The match itself, nothing spectacular. I predicted the ending. Like I said, most people knew what were coming. Lo and behold, Roman Reigns gets the win and then gets booed out of the building. Overall, not a massive event, not a great event in my opinion. Like I said, there were a couple of standout matches. The Taker, Shane, the women's title match, the ladder match, and Ambrose and Lesnar was okay. But again, I don't think that was as good as it could be, like I said. So yeah, I think they failed to deliver. I think Mania was pretty much a disappointment to a lot of people. Obviously, to those there live, it will have been awesome because, you know, it's WrestleMania. But I think to the majority of people watching on TV live or network or whatever, it was a bit of a disappointment, which means that more than likely WWE TV will probably go down the pan now until the back end of the year when they start hyping up the Royal Rumble ready for next year's WrestleMania. But again, we'll have to see how that goes. So that then leads me very nicely on to the actual Monday Night Raw itself. If you haven't seen this yet, then there are spoilers in this segment, so you might want to pause this video, go watch Raw, come back, or whatever. Or if you're not bothered, then obviously carry on watching. So yeah, show starts off with Vince obviously gloating about how Shane lost. Shane came out to a massive ovation from the fans. He thanked the crowd for his support. You know, went up and shook Vince's hand and said, you know, well done, congratulations, you won. Went to leave, and Vince got a bit nacked, like, how dare you upstage me. and then decided that Shane can run Raw anyway. But then why did they have the match with The Undertaker? But he did say afterwards that it was only temporary, so I'm imagine it's until they could think of a way of bringing Triple H and his screaming Banshee back to ruin Raw by having them bury everybody who anybody actually cares about. First matchup was the New Booty versus League of Nations. New Day's entrances and promos are just getting longer and longer and more boring. I'm just sick to death of the whole New Day thing now. They just stand in the ring waffling shit for ages. Eventually, after they'd finished their little thing, League of Nations came out and we had a tag team title match. Average match. Most annoying group of mid-carders ever. You know, New Day won. God, I hate those guys so much. And looks like Barrett has been excommunicated from the League of Nations, given the fact that, you know, they basically blamed him for him losing the tag match. And he was bro kicked by Sheamus while Del Rio and Rusev held him. So that looks like that's Wade Barrett's big farewell from WWE. You know, getting bro kicked into obscurity. Then it went dark. The Wyatts came out, attacked League of Nations for no reason at all. Another boring, pointless Wyatt family attack. Up next was Summer and Sasha. Summer Rae came down to the ring, banging on about how if she'd been in charge of the team on Wrestlemania kickoff show, things had been different. And they went on to mention how Sasha ruined her Mania moment. Sasha came out, basically slapped Summer. The match started. Very quick match. Sasha got the win by submission with the bank statement. Up next was Tyler Breeze versus Apollo Crews. Anybody who's not seen Apollo Crews, he's a regular on NXT. Anybody who's not seen NXT, I suggest you check it out, as it is the best program that WWE is putting out at the moment. That is due to Triple H running it. Vince has no say on NXT as far as I'm aware. It's purely Triple H's baby. So that is why it's mostly wrestling and not so many recaps and, you know, of stuff we've seen 3 minutes ago going on all through the night. So yeah, NXT is well worth checking out for those of you who haven't already. I have seen plenty of Apollo Crews on NXT, and I think the guy's amazing. He had a great match with Finn Balor not long ago, non-title match. He just basically asked Finn for a match, given the fact that their title match had been ruined by Baron Corbin. Finn obliged, and it absolutely tore the house down. It was an amazing match. I've watched it again since, and I just think it was an amazing match. Apollo Crews, for his size, he's like a talented Bobby Lashley. He can move, he can wrestle, he's agile. He does like a standing flip, which is just, for somebody his size, it just shouldn't happen, but it does. So yeah, Apollo Crews got the win. It was a nice Raw debut. I don't know if he's going to be there permanent or whether it's just a post-Mania thing. You know, so we're giving a lot of the, you know, big names to the night off. But yeah, it was a nice win on his Raw debut. And then after that, Roman Reigns comes out to a huge boo. The commentators tried to make it sound like it's the crowd, you know, the booing who they usually cheer and the cheering who they usually boo. No, the fact is that a lot of people have turned on Roman Reigns because they are fickle. Wrestling fans by nature are fickle, always will be and always have been. They booed him and then cheered for him at a pay-per-view when he won the title, and then booed him, you know, the following pay-per-view. It's just where the wrestling fans are. Whoever WWE seems to be pushing, they seem to get on it. It happened with Cena. He still gets it now, and Reigns is no different. He'll be the one getting it for a while until somebody else wins the title, which leads us up to the main event, which comes later on. But yeah, Reigns come out saying that, you know, he's the new champion and he's going to be a fighting champion, etc. Anybody wants his belt, you know, come and get it. Jericho came out, basically demanded that Reigns put him top of the list, front of the queue, etc. You know, because, you know, he deserves it, etc., etc. AJ Styles comes out, quickly followed by Kevin Owens, and then followed by Sami Zayn, who got a massive ovation, and the crowd was singing along to his theme tune. Zayn and Owens started fighting in the ring. AJ Styles and Jericho started throwing punches at each other and fighting. Owens and Zayn ended up outside the ring. Y2J launched AJ over the top rope, got all smug, turned around and got speared by Reigns. Reigns did make a statement early on in the segment when he was in the ring on his own. I'm pretty sure it's something that JBL said at WrestleMania, but I'm not 100%. But I know for a fact that Roman Reigns didn't come up with this. He said, "I'm not a bad guy, I'm not a good guy, I'm the guy," and I'm pretty sure that that's what JBL said at WrestleMania about him, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, they showed like the 100th recap or something happening, and then backstage, Shane McMahon bumps into Roman Reigns, congratulates him on winning the title, and tells him it's going to be a fatal four-way to decide his number one contender. Roman seems pretty cool with it, not that he has much choice anyway. Then next up we have the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, Baron Corbin, versus Dolph Ziggler. It was a decent match, nothing special. It went to a count out as they were fighting in the crowd. I say fighting, Corbin was basically just throwing Ziggler around. Referee got to a 10 count, so the both of them obviously counted out. Corbin was a bit pissed at this and hit Ziggler with the end of days on the outside of the ring. And that was that, over and done with. Zack Ryder came out to the ring, basically mentioned his WrestleMania moment and mentioned that when he was a kid he had his picture taken with Razor Ramon, and Zack got to hold Razor's IC title, which he also mentioned at WrestleMania itself. And then he mentioned the fact that after he'd won the title, he got a picture of Razor Ramon again with Razor holding his IC title. Both pictures were shown up on the Titantron. And then all of a sudden, he thanked the crowd and everything, and thanked his dad for his support and everything. It was, quite an emotional moment. Camera showed Zack Ryder's dad, who is massive. He obviously hits the gym. I've never seen any wrestlers' dad. He's bigger than some of the wrestlers themselves. He's huge. Miz came out to ruin the moment, wearing God knows what it was. He looked a pillock. So yeah, it basically goes Ryder into putting the title on the line in a match. So we have an impromptu match that Lillian Garcia almost ruined by announcing till they cut a microphone off. So yeah, average match, nothing special. There were a bit of involvement. Miz got in Ryder's dad's face, so Ryder's dad pushed Miz away, sent him from the the barrier to the ring. Then all of a sudden Maurice come out of the crowd, went over to Ryder's dad. The JBL was saying how hot she still looks. I think she still looks like a £10 hooker, or for you guys in America and Canada, $10 hooker. So she slapped Ryder's dad while all this is going on. Miz hits skull crushing finale on Zack Ryder and wins the title. Bullshit. Why give Ryder his WrestleMania moment to take it off in the next night? It makes no sense. And why give it to Miz? It's just, the guy's done nothing. It doesn't appeal to anybody. The guy's just a dick. So hopefully, somebody will take the title off him quickly. Then they had the official, crowning of the new women's champion. I'm glad to be saying women's champion again and not divas. So yeah, she was given the women's title, complete with her new personalised side plates. During Charlotte trying to give a speech, the crowd were singing for Bayley. They were basically a song from Dirty Dancing that they changed the words to fit Bayley. And then, Charlotte was getting a bit annoyed, and she sort of started off with this really sincere speech about how they'd all, made this possible, women's wrestling, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a chant of women's wrestling. And it went from somewhat of a nice speech into a typical Charlotte heel promo, to which point the entire women's division, as they are now known, not divas, women's division, left the ring and walked off, apart from Natalya, who grabbed the microphone, had a bit of a verbal confrontation with Charlotte. Charlotte tried to get hold of Natty. Natty put her in the sharpshooter. Once again, Ric Flair saves his little girl and pulls her out of the ring. This is getting boring, and they really need to get rid of Ric Flair. He's making Charlotte look less credible as a champion than J&J Security and Kane did with Rollins. Then there was the Usos versus Dudleys in a table match, rematch from WrestleMania. Another average match. Dudleys got the win after the Usos put themselves through tables, tried to put the Dudleys through. After they laid them on him, Dudleys rolled out the way and the Usos splashed themselves through tables. Then the Dudleys threw one of the Usos, I can't remember which one, through a table, and then said, right, now you can call us winners. As they were walking up the ramp, Enzo and Cass, also from NXT, came out to a huge ovation. I'm a massive fan of Enzo and Cass. I think those guys are absolutely amazing. They are so funny, and Enzo is so good on the microphone, it's unreal. They cut an awesome promo on the Dudleys, even at one point Enzo stating that the the Dudleys were so ugly that the tears rolled down the backs of their heads so they didn't have to see their faces, which I thought was just hilarious. Even though they didn't actually wrestle or even get into some sort of pull-apart brawl with the Dudleys, it was awesome to see Enzo and Cass on Raw. JBL did make a comment about, oh, just how big is Big Cass? Well, he's 7 foot, and you should know that, JBL, because you were the GM of NXT for a while. So to me, that was a bit of a dick statement. During the night, there had been several backstage things interviewing the competitors in the main event, the 4-way match for the #1 contendership. And while it was Sami Zayn's turn, he was attacked by Kevin Owens and powerbombed through a table. So we didn't know if Sami Zayn was going to be able to compete. When Lillian was announcing the competitors, she introduced Styles first, then Jericho, then Owens, and then she said that Zayn hadn't been cleared to compete, but you know, per Shane McMahon, it would be a 4-man battle, 4-man match, and then introduced Cesaro, who came out in a suit. The commentators made a comment about, is he going to wrestle in a suit or what? He then did a rock and pulled the suit off to reveal his wrestling gear underneath. Great to see Cesaro back. I'm a fan of Cesaro. I think the guy is awesome. It was a great match, as you'd expect. 4 guys on the top of the game put on an absolute amazing match. Best match of the night, which to be fair didn't really take much. Cesaro looked great. Didn't look like there was any ring rust or anything. After a hard fought battle, Styles hit the Styles Clash on Y2J and pinned him, which must have been sort of bittersweet after his WrestleMania loss, and became the new #1 contender. After WrestleMania, I was pissed at what had happened to Styles, but after watching Raw, it was a case of, right, now I kind of see why they've done it. They knock him down and everybody thinks, oh, well, that's it. He's just going to float around the mid-card now. Nothing's going to happen. And he's be, you know, #1 contender for the world title. So I believe it'll be Styles and Reigns at Payback. Be interesting to see how this is built up, given the fact that the crowd absolutely adore AJ Styles and they hate Roman Reigns anyway, apart from a few people. Like I said, I don't hate Roman Reigns. I don't mind the guy. He just does what he's told to do. Overall, not the best post-Mania Raw I've ever seen. Not even the best Raw I've ever seen. But it was better than a hell of a lot of Raws over the last year. So, you know, to me personally, the whole WrestleMania weekend has been a bit flat. Mania itself wasn't the best. Like I said, it'll be remembered for Shane McMahon's leap of faith off the cell. Raw wasn't great. But, you know, we'll have to see what WWE do. It was nice to see some NXT appearances, debuts, etc. Hopefully, you know, Raw will pick up. It won't do what it usually does and stagnate like the pay-per-views down until the back end of the year where they start showing an interest, because obviously then the Royal Rumble builds up for WrestleMania. So yeah, that's my thoughts. And you guys want to leave, you know, your thoughts, please comment below. So yeah, that'll do it from me, guys. Like I said, I'm sorry it's such a long video, but there's a lot to get through. So thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. Don't forget to check out the Facebook page, Down With Wrestling. For now, that'll do it from me, guys. Catch you later. Bye.